Hello everyone, welcome to the WordPress tutorial beginner to advanced part 12. Today I'll be showing you and telling you about full site editing patterns. What exactly is a full site editing pattern? So when you log into your dashboard as usual, you go to the appearance, you click on the editor, it brings you to this page, and then you can see the pattern, which is the last item we have here. So when you click on it, you see the number of patterns that are already on this particular theme. Right, this is not going to be what you see on every full site editing theme you use. This is specific to 2025. All right, so now you can see patterns with the padlock key. It means these are patterns that has been created as part of the theme itself. So what exactly is a pattern? You see pattern as when you have a section. Let's say you have a section on a page, but on maybe another page or other pages, you want to reuse that section. You want to have same design, maybe different content. You want to have same designs and the like on other pages. So just like when you make your code dry, do not repeat yourself. The same thing is applicable here, and that is why we create patterns. You create a pattern to avoid recreating the same section or element or blocks that you've used in one page, so that you can just create it once and use it on as many pages as you want. And then if you want to make any structural change to it, all you have to do is to go to the original pattern and edit. And the edit you make or the changes you make will cut across all the pages you've used it. It's more like you create a button component in React or whatever your tech stack is. When you create a button component or a reusable button function, if you want to make a structural change to that button, all you have to do is go to the function itself that you've created for the button, make the changes, and then the changes will cut across any place or places that you've used that button. So the same thing is used, or the same idea is what this full site editing pattern is all about. So you can see patterns, you can see categories of patterns here. You can see my pattern, which is the one created on this particular site. Then the about, the one that comes with the theme, the banner, call to action, contact, featured, footer, and so on and so forth. All right, but there are some that are important. You see the header, footer, and general. The header pattern is more like you are creating a header template. All right, but a pattern in this case so that you can pick. If you are using this theme, you can pick from any of the header patterns that's already here based on what you want. Then you can see the footer pattern. This is done such that you can pick from any of the footer patterns and use on your website. So how do you create a pattern? You can create a pattern now. There are two ways to do it. You can click on this button, add pattern, or you can manually create that on any page. All right. So if you click on this button, add pattern, you see add pattern, add template part. So template part is what you have when you have the header template part, the footer template part, and the sidebar. To create a pattern, you can. This is one method. You can click here, then you give it a pattern name, then the categories that you want to place it based on what is here, or if you don't have any category here already, you can create new. So let's say test pattern. You have a test pattern there, so you can scroll down to see any categories you've created. So you can just put it in the my site, and then you see that it is synced. When you sync a pattern like this, it means any changes you make to it in one place or to the original cut across all the places you've used it. All right. So when you add it like that, it means you have created that test pattern. But now it's going to take you to the blog editor page where you need to add content to the pattern. So let's add a simple hero section. All right. So you can use forward slash to pick whatever block you want to pick. All right. We pick the group block, and then inside it we can say let's pick another group to use it as a container, and then we give it a wide width. Then you can say the title, but we won't say title here because we are not going to be using it on template parts. So I will need to change that or delete it. Right, let me delete the title that I used, so I can just use the heading block. All right, so click on it, you see heading. So when you see heading like that, you see this is section title. Right, so click on it based on how you want it and give it a h1. All right, so for the main wrapper itself, you can rename. We're still going to like talk more about the blog editor area itself. You can rename this to say section then you save instead of just having it as group there. You can rename, and then if you go to the panel side here, you can see styles. Right, we talked about that one where we were doing the full introduction to the blog editor itself. So height, let's just give it some random height. All right, so you also have the container. You can also give the container some random height because you want to ensure the content is at the center. Let's give it 312 like that, and then we change the alignment more like you are using a flexbox grid in CSS. So once it's want to transform to excuse me, want to transform to stack. So when you click on stack like that, click on this, you want to make it at the center, and then here you change the alignment to middle. It's going to be at the middle. All right, so when you have it at the middle like that, we can add description. We can add description of the section. So you can say this is the description. Right, so you can still add more stuffs. You can add, let's say you add button, just type button. It's going to give you the default WordPress button. Let me just call it click me. All right, you can style it whichever way you want. Right, now we have a pattern. All right, don't forget the title of the pattern is test pattern. Now to use this pattern you can go to a page and insert it. But before using it, this is a pattern we've created and it is synced. Right, so when you click on this title, if you want to enable overriding it, so if you are using this pattern on another page, you want to use another title name because you cannot use the same title across. All right, so if you want to use another title, you click on the title itself, then it's a block. You can scroll down, you see the advanced, and then you see overrides. You see enable override. When you enable override, it means if you reuse this pattern on another page, you'll be able to like override the title. It will still maintain the same structure, but you can override the content of the pattern. So let's call this section title. So click like that, you save. Same thing goes for the description. When you click on the description like that, it's already staying on that part. So click on enable override. You can see section description. Right, you enable also. But for this button, you have to like click the whole button block itself, then go to the advanced. But there's no way you can override the button. Right, you cannot override the button that way. You cannot override the whole button block, but you can override a single button. So click on the single button, go to the advanced, then you see the override. You can call this one section button, and then you enable. So when you do it like that, you can save. So when you are done saving your changes, if you want to style the section itself, you can do it. Now let's go to this page and use that pattern. Right, let's edit the sample page. When you edit the sample page, let's remove what I already had. I already have some patterns there. Let me remove them so that we can include another patterns that we just created. So if you do that, I can just say my pattern. All right, so test pattern is the name. So we need to check test pattern. This is the pattern. Click on it like that. You pick that particular pattern. Right. So let me remove this paragraph. All right, we've picked that pattern we just created, and this is it here. So you can save. So when you save and visit the page, you are going to see that what we've done with the section. All right, so this is what we have. There's no background color yet, so you can go to the original pattern, then add a background color. So let's say the background color is this color, then save. Right, go to the advanced. We cannot override like the structure of the pattern itself. Like you cannot make it overrideable, right? But you can override. You can only override for now. You can only override the content inside your pattern. So we've done that. We edited the original pattern. We added the background color. So if you refresh this page, you're going to see that color. All right. This is what we've done. So let's say we duplicate this pattern now. We've duplicated it. This is the second one. Now we can make this overridable. We've done it. We've made it overridable all you have to do is change the title. This is the second title, right? Did I just type? This is the second title. This is the description for the second pattern. So you can change the block, the button itself. You can see you only have one button there. You can change the link or the anchor text of the block of the button. Right? When you do it like that, you can save. You are wondering why the color is not applied because you did not refresh this page. So if you refresh the page, you see the color we applied to the original pattern is going to be on our page here. Loading, 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 loading. Right? You can see, and you can see that we have different title here. Then we have different title here. So if you refresh the page itself, you're going to see that. So that is how you create patterns and make it reusable. Don't forget, pattern is to help you avoid recreating the same kind of block or design every time. So create it in one place and reuse it on as many pages as you want. You can make it sync, or you can decide not to make it sync. You can also make the content of the pattern overridable. You can decide not to make it so. All right. So if you've enjoyed this video so far, you can only help me by liking this video, sharing the video, and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. All right. I will see you in the next video.